Demi Kusha's beautiful smile stays with us 8 long years after her death. Her life was cut short just one day after her 16th birthday when her ex-boyfriend, 18-year-old John Malarkey, stabbed her to death. He was later convicted of first-degree murder and is currently serving a life sentence without parole.
Now, this tragedy happened in August of 2007, and ever since then, her family has been advocating on their daughter's behalf, hoping to prevent any more senseless deaths of young people to dating violence. Demi's father, Dr. Gary Kusha, is here with Laura Penrod-Kronk with the Ladies Hospital Aid Society, and together they are bringing programs to schools to help raise awareness. Thank you both for coming.
Good morning, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good seeing you.
Yes.
You still miss her?
I absolutely miss her. Yeah, it's a daily battle living without Demi.
I don't see how you do it. I don't see how you get through something like that.
It's something you want no father to ever have to go through, or no mother, or no family actually. But unfortunately, it was something we knew nothing about. I had no idea my daughter was in any sort of trouble whatsoever.
No signs, no.
Now, looking back, there were some red flags. For instance, my daughter one time told me that this boy John didn't want her to be a cheerleader anymore. That type of, characteristics where they're trying to pick and choose activities for you.
Possessiveness.
Yes, the possessiveness. So no, we didn't see it. This was the first boyfriend my daughter ever had.
Wow.
And she ultimately, was Demi realized there was something wrong with this relationship. She broke up with him. What we didn't know is during that 2-week period of time, he was texting her nonstop. He wanted to see her. He wanted to be alone so he could, talk to her.
Try to win her back.
Sign.
Yeah. And that's, and that, when we go to the schools and we do these assemblies, that's the message we share with a lot of the kids is, don't allow yourself to be in a situation where you're alone with somebody, especially either during or after a breakup.
Wow.
Especially if they show signs of being controlling or possessive. It's the most dangerous time.
Well, Laura, I know you both go out and talk to these kids face to face about these warning signs. Do they realize the potential danger? I mean, once they see you, they do, but have they thought about this before?
I think a lot of students haven't, and that's why we're there. The statistics are staggering, and this certainly is an epidemic proportion.
How bad is it?
Well, 1 in 3 teens has experienced some type of abuse in a dating relationship.
Wow,
so it
that's
is
a
that
lot.
staggering.
And is it usually, I mean, I hate to stereotype, but is it usually male on female? I mean, obviously, a guy beating up a girl, or does it ever work the other way?
Well, it does go both ways. A lot of time the guys will get a lot of the emotional abuse, the verbal abuse through the girlfriends, but most of the time the physical abuse, it's the guys listening to physical abuse. And when it's 1 out of 3 of our teens experience some form of dating abuse, that's unacceptable.
That's
Man.
really
It's
horrible.
unacceptable.
Well, I want our viewers to know some more of these warning signs, because really someone listening might be able to help someone out there. And so number 1, check if someone checks your phone or email without permission. So this is actually happening if the boyfriend is looking at your phone and out of jealousy?
Is that a sign of extreme jealousy? Is that what that is?
Absolutely, and the number of times that have been reported by some of these, partners is staggering. I mean, hundreds of times a day they're texting each other or checking in on each other. So it's serious.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2, constantly puts you down. I mean, so in other words, verbal abuse.
Yes, verbal abuse, constantly making you feel like you're not good enough, critiquing everything that you're doing, or maybe just verbally abusing you in front of your friends, trying to belittle you. All these characteristics are the controlling
behavior.
Right.
Which goes with the extreme jealousy or insecurity, and then taking it a step further, exhibits explosive temper. Wow. That can be scary. What about isolating you from family or friends? Is this something?
Well, that's huge. That's the one thing that parents should be aware of. Like if your child, for instance, is no longer hanging out with certain friends that he or she once had, they're no longer involved with certain activities they once used to love being involved with. Their grades are failing, all these types of things. Yeah, they want sole exclusivity to you. They don't want nobody else to have you. So.
Exactly. Makes false accusations and exhibits mood swings. Now, so the false accusations on the part of the partner or your child? Who's making false accusations about whom?
Probably the partner who's accusing the other of maybe flirting with someone or wearing clothing that's not appropriate. Any of those type of things that would put that person in a you know, in a guarded position.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Another controlling feature. Yeah.
And then if your own child exhibits mood swings, that could be a sign too?
Absolutely. You know, anxiety. The last 2 weeks of my daughter's life, she could hardly eat anything because her stomach was so
She was
upset.
under so much stress.
And I'm giving her probiotics to help her with digestion, but the reality was she was under so much verbal and emotional abuse from breaking up with this boy, we didn't know about it.
Wow.
So
Do you advocate that parents like look at the kids' phones and see what's going on? Because obviously you didn't even know.
Yeah, absolutely. To pay good attention to what's going on in your teen's life. And that's what's different with today's day and age, because when we grew up, we had a phone in the house with a cord, so if you're
Yeah.
fighting with somebody, you know there's
You knew
issues.
who called.
Now everything's done through texting and you know, Facebooking, and
Yeah,
the
on the
parents don't
computer.
get these red flags. You don't see them, so you have
Right.
to be perceptive to it.
Right.
Okay.
Now here's a red flag. If someone physically hurts you, I mean, you can't always see the cuts and bruises, but sometimes you can.
Well, absolutely.
Obviously, that's a big red flag.
Well, that's one of the most obvious ones that stand right out at you.
Did you have
sadly-
any of those?
No,
Gary?
nothing
But
like
Laura,
that.
I know there are kids who think that's okay,
Absolutely.
and that's not.
And that's part of our programming is
Yeah.
we really go in and say that control is not love. Control is a form of abuse. And so that's one of the messages that we really try to have them walk away with.
Some
Yeah.
kids and adults seriously think that physical abuse is okay.
Well, they continue to go back in a relationship where
Certainly.
there is some.
And sadly, a lot of young people are in homes where they're actually, you know, have parents or parents with partners, and they're experiencing it
See that
firsthand
They've grown up with
with
it.
adults.
Yeah. So tell us how people can get this program in their schools where the kids can learn more.
Right, Gary and Ladies Hospital Aid, the Demi Bray Kusha organization and Ladies Hospital Aid, we're more than happy to come into your school. It's free of charge.
Oh, wonderful.
And our goal is to have Gary come in and tell Demi's story, which is so powerful. And Ladies Hospital Aid is there to supply T-shirts.
Oh, you got these here. Tell us what
yes.
this stands for here.
In 2011, Ladies Hospital Aid realized the severity of this problem. And so we got our heads together and developed a T-shirt logo, which is hug, kiss, shove does not equal true love.
Yep.
So we have that on the front, and on the reverse side, you can see there are ways in which a young person can get help. So
And the part about don't break up alone is what you're talking about
Right.
too. If
Yeah,
you
so
have a
important.
breakup, it's a vulnerable time.
Exactly. That's exactly what, when I talk to the students, I tell them if my daughter had an assembly like you guys are having today, which we're actually speaking at a school this afternoon, Fraser High School.
Good.
I tell, you know, if she knew not to allow herself to be in that situation where she was home alone,
Yeah.
she could possibly be alive today.
Wow, my goodness. Well, thank you for sharing
Thank you
your story,
so
Laura.
much,
Thank
guys.
you for helping
Thank you.
bring this to so many
no,
people
we're delighted to do
through
that.
the Ladies Hospital
doing great
AIDS
work.
Society.
Thank you.
And if you want to learn more about teen dating violence and see if the program can come to your school, go to kdka.com/PTL. We have links to the Ladies Hospital AIDS Society website as well as the Demi Bray Kusha Awareness Organization. They can give you more information and help you schedule a program at your school.